To learn the scriptures is easy, to live them hard. The search for the real is no simple matter. Deep in my looking, the last words vanished. Joyous and silent, the waking that met me there. Namaskar. My name is Agastya Khosa. I am 14 years old and in ninth grade. Today, I want to talk to you about the Kashmiri mystic and poet Lal-Ded. After the downfall of the last Hindu king of Kashmir in the 14th century, the valley fell into the hands of Islamic rulers, who decimated the Hindu population through massacre and forced conversions. Buddhism had already left its imprint on society and philosophy, and Islam gradually became the dominant religion in Kashmir. Lal-Ded, also known as Laleshwari, was born in Pandretan, Kashmir sometime between 1320 and 1355 and lived during this turbulent period. After a brief education in religious texts, she was married off at the age of 12 into a family that mistreated her regularly. Her mother-in-law was known to put stones in her food and then cover it with rice. Despite these harsh circumstances, Lal-Ded was not given to complaining. Lala would spend most of her time at the temple of Lord Shiva. She also began the pursuit of yoga under a guru, Sid Srikant, also known as Sedboy. At around the age of 26, Lal-Ded decided to renounce her material life, including her marriage, and became a wandering mystic, traveling throughout the valley. Lal-Ded is mostly known for her vox, or lulvox. These weren't written down in her lifetime. Her vox were passed down through generations orally until eventually written down. People formed her sayings into chants and mantras. There are around 260 vox recorded in total. Lal-Ded's vox illustrate her self-doubt, depict her restlessness to establish a personal relationship with Shiva, show her aspirations and achievements, reveal her sentiments, and most importantly, communicate her message to the common people of Kashmir. Lal-Vox are the records and stories of her life and emotions. She reveals a deep sense of longing and surrender as she begins her journey in search of God and the secrets of life and death.
With a rope of untwisted thread, I tow my boat upon the ocean. Will my God hear me and carry me across? Like water in vessels of unbaked clay, I'm wasting away. Oh, how I long that I would reach my home.
Other Vox were most likely created after she had progressed much in her spiritual journey.
I was passionate, filled with longing. I searched far and wide. But the day that the truthful one found me, I was at home.
Lal-Ded is believed to have excelled in Shaivite spiritual practices and reached self-realization. But she didn't stop at that. She wanted to reveal the spiritual truths she had understood. This is why she wandered from place to place to share her truths with those receptive. In some ways, she added to Kashmir Shaivism. but in other ways, she demystified it, translating spiritual ideologies so that they can be perceived and understood by the common people. She demolished its ideology of being a secret sect and gave way for anyone interested in the realization of their true identity. Traditional Kashmir Shaivism contained texts and rituals such as those elaborated by Abhinav Gupta. Lal-Ded forged a ritual-free syncretic brand of Shaivism. This form assimilates Buddhist spirituality and also engages with Islam, specifically the Sufi mystic tradition. This was because Sufism was egalitarian and simple. Lal would also talk about realizing emptiness, or the essence of all things, which is a Buddhist concept.
Let go the sacred tantra rites. Only the mantra sound remains. And when the mantra sound departs, only the chit is left behind. Then lo, the chit itself is gone, and there is nothing left behind. The void merges in the void.
Lullavies are the earliest known manifestations of Kashmiri literature. Lalla influenced the modern Kashmiri language. During her travels in the valley, she interacted with people of different persuasions. She picked up a few words from each of their idioms and trickled them into her vox. It is often said that Lalla is to Kashmiri what Shakespeare is to English. However, Lal-Ded wasn't content with merely following Shaivite tradition and continuing it. She was breaking through it and criticizing it as she went along. Laleshwari challenged existing religious structures and criticized various social and political standpoints. She questioned the dogmatic views of the world around her with her vox. She most likely viewed rituals and social structures as obstacles for the common people in the way of the path to attain self-realization. There was a simple path to reach the same place in Shaivism, Buddhism, and the Sufi mystic tradition, just without meaningless distractions. She broke barriers between religions by sharing her insights with everyone without distinction. And poetry was her medium to express this. In other words, Lal-Ded was a radical poet. To minimize the rebellious impact, the elite at that time sidelined her, portraying her as insane. Lal-Ded's vox challenged pundits for worshipping idols, unnecessarily slaughtering animals, fasting, and other pundit rituals.
The thoughtless read the holy books, as parrots in their cages recite Ram Ram. Their reading is like churning water. Fruitless effort, ridiculous conceit. The idol is but stone. The temple is but stone. From top to bottom, all is but stone. Whom will you worship, O stubborn pundit? O fool, right action does not lie in fasting and other ceremonial rites. O fool, right action does not lie in providing for bodily comfort and ease, in contemplation of the self alone. Is right action and right counsel for you. Don't torture this body with thirst and hunger. Give it a hand when it stumbles and falls. To hell with all your vows and prayers. Just help others to life. There's no truer worship.
Lal-Ded's appeal is timeless, and her legacy is universal. What made Lal-Ded so immensely popular among millions is how she had the awareness of the problems of the common people, especially through such turbulent times. Her vox inspire and still inspire people today. She democratized Shaivite philosophy and her own personal insights into a distinctly Kashmiri worldview. Lal-Ded conveyed this in an everyday language, accessible to Kashmiris of all faiths, while also strongly influencing the Kashmiri literary tradition. She often used her vox as a peaceful way of engagement with both Shaivism and Sufism, evading the possessive claims of religious monopolists. Lal-Ded was open-minded to engaging with other schools of thought, and most importantly, she boldly criticized the power structures of her times, which were impediments to the spiritual progress of society as a whole. Today, no matter what religion, Muslim or Hindu, Kashmiris recite some of her vox and say her name with pride and respect. As many of us praise Lal-Ded for her vox, we should also take them into consideration and reflect upon our own lives. Lal-Ded believed that Kashmiris have a shared culture, regardless of religion. Such truths have been passed down centuries ago. Yet, should we hesitate to follow them?